Well, welcome everyone. I'm just getting my morning cappuccino going. Uh-oh. There is a little spinner in the bottom and it just flipped in. Okay, don't worry about it.
I could get it with a bit.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay. So, welcome. And I think what I'd like to talk about today is to just share a little more about who we are, who is As Above Academy. Now, I have my mug with my coffee, and I have those values that I talked about yesterday. I didn't say anything about them, I just said we have them, right? Oh, I got a little, what's that? A little chocolate. Uh-oh. In this morning shake. Okay. All right, here I go. The first coffee of the day, and it's 11 in the morning for me. So, As Above Academy is this beautiful co-creation from our earlier name of our group called Z-Lab. And when we came across this possibility of having a group called the As Above Academy, we thought this would be cool. It could be a community place. It could be a place that we bring things for learning, you know. And so when I saw that, I thought this is great because we have so much available to us. Hey, hi Eileen. Welcome. Bringing a little bit of wholeness, attunement, compassion, co-creation, intimacy into our space today. And you are now you get to pick one of those and be that for the next, however time we stick around. So share with me the one that you want to be today on this call. And so, As Above Academy came from this brilliant distinction. Okay, all right, you're going to take on compassion today. That's great. And I think I'm going to take on attunement. And I don't know what that's going to look like. But I'm going to stay as connected to everybody out there as I possibly can. And then first, I guess, stay attuned to myself, right? I sometimes forget that I have to be with me first before I can be with anybody else. I think that that kind of is critical. So back to these origin stories of the As Above Academy name. And it came from this beautiful quote. And I know, Eileen, you know the quote. Let me see if I can find it here. I think it was called as above, so below. As within, so without. As with the universe, so with the soul. Now, I don't have the author of that quote. Maybe next time when I come back here, I'll share the authorship of that quote, because I didn't make it up. But I know it came from something. And it has a lot of beautiful, it's a small little, it's almost like a haiku. It's like really tiny in its statement footprint. But if you think about all the layers of what it's suggesting, it's kind of all about attunement. It's attuning with everything around you, with the things that are within you, the things that are surrounding you, the things that are in the universe we hardly think about. Do you think about the oxygen that you're breathing right now? I rarely think about that unless I take in a nice, big, deep breath. Which, have you ever noticed when you do something like that, you just stop in the moment and you try to be as present as possible? It really is kind of healing. It has kind of a slowing down, balancing quality to it. So whenever I can, I think of breathing. I tend to be more present to my breath when I'm outside in nature, because I think nature gets me outside of myself. I'm not thinking about, oh, does this hurt? Or how does this feel? Or any of those things. So I know that having values, and I never used to think that I had values. I probably had them on a level that was kind of unconscious. But having values, and Eileen picked compassion today, I'm picking attunement, and then living in that space called the as above, so within concept. There's such spectacular dialogue in that way. You know, I would have my opinion about it. I have my thoughts. Um, what I really, what I really resonate and kind of feel enlivened by is when I'm in dialogue with others. Because, by the way, guys, and I'm sure it's not a surprise to you, my monologue runs all day long. And as much as I can be present to it being a monologue, most of the time I think it's just, what is. And so when I'm in a conversation with other people, I get to recognize it's all a conversation, no matter who I'm having it with, myself or with you. So getting back to the value that I chose for today, and Eileen, if you're if you're up for it, share what compassion means to you in the chat. Attunement to me, I love that it has the word tune in it, so it suggests to me something musical. I'm not a big one to dissect words unless I go into a dictionary and find out all that stuff. So I work with the word first on how have I used it for myself up until this moment. And attunement is really lovely, and it has taken a sort of journey with me. I used to think of attunement as something that I had to do with another, like it was something that I was required to do. And I had to do it on purpose. It wasn't like something that I could do naturally. It wasn't just there. It wasn't just available to me. I had to effort it. Yeah, and Eileen, for you, compassion is, she says here, recognizing the presence of suffering, right? And doing what one can do to alleviate it. So that is interesting. And I love the word calm passion, with passion, right? So whatever these words originally were used as, how do they, show up for you now in your life? Like for Eileen, it's the essence of the recognition of some presence, and the presence in the moment of what is suffering, like what is not balanced, what is not in attunement with itself, right? What is feeling something's missing, right? What are the definitions for the word suffering? And then we're responsible. Like Eileen points to doing what one can do, right? To alleviate it. It's like our responsibility first to attend to the things that we're aware of. And then I bring in that new word, awareness, right? So everything has these beautiful layers. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. These states of layering. And when you notice the layers, you get to attend to the ones that empower you and bring you joy and, like light your life up. And then they're going to be those layers that you recognize, oh, wow, do I still need to think about it that way with that layer? Like, does that layer still serve me? And so, with the idea of compassion, with the idea of attunement, and again, attunement, I love now because I'm adding these layers of music to it. I love that I can find a tune that I can get in with another, right? I don't have to change my tune. I can just hear for the tune of another. And when you can hear the tune of another, you get to have more choice. Do I engage or not? Can I find a way of finding the melody, the harmony with that person, right? Or with that situation, right? Oh my gosh. Like there are some situations that you would find really possibly beyond ability to find a attunement with. But I think that attunement is neutral. If you use it as a tool to find how you can find that state of harmony and resonance in any situation with yourself or with another. And so attunement has this this potential that I had never seen before. And I played piano. I started playing piano when I was 6, something like that. My mom was very much into the art. She was a ballet dancer, and she played piano too. And so, I had my mother's uprights, in our little living room in in New Jersey. That's where I grew up, and I just started playing piano, and I remember, using all those typical books for beginners and stuff. And something changed at some point, probably 1 or 2 years into playing the piano. It wasn't like I was a virtuoso. I'm certainly not a prodigy, but my body understood how to play the instrument. Now, I have to say that I did not have the emotional depth to express music the way some people currently, who, I mean, there's some really big famous people now that women. I think Yuja Yang, I think her name is. She's incredible. You sit in her presence and she almost becomes possessed with the music. I don't think I was possessed with the music, but I had a really good ability to be technical with it. And it was something that my hands liked. And I studied music until I was in my 20s. I even attempted to go to Juilliard, but I had some competing career experiences in my early days, my early youth, that I made some decisions where, music was very solitary. It was very much, what I did. And I also had a little stage fright around it. So I said to myself, if you're going to dedicate yourself to something like music, it'll be everything. And you would have to abandon pretty much anything else. And I didn't love it enough for that. I was good enough, possibly, maybe not to be like excellent, but maybe I could have performed for a while, maybe been in a, local orchestra or something. I don't know. And I still have my big, gorgeous, kawaii baby grand downstairs in our current house right now. Boy, having that shipped was a funny experience. Anyway, another story. And so, where I am right now in my life, looking through the lens in this moment of attunement, I'm going to go outside after this. And I'm attuning with my coffee right now, and I'm attuning with all of you, and I'm going to attune with nature. That is my go-to girl. She's the one that she's got my back every single time. I don't even consider she'd ever let me down. There's nothing she could do that would let me down. I might let her down sometimes, but I'd love to share with you the next time we meet. I'd love to share with you about my ongoing monarch butterfly project that I've been involved with since I think 2019. Yeah, I think I accidentally started in 2019 and then have been doing monarchs ever since. So that'll be for another morning chat with all of you. So I think that's it for today. It's really been kind of an honor to be able to sit here, be with any of you who show up, either now or in the future, because we are recording these and we'll possibly let other people see them for the future. And I just want to thank you. And again, dream here now. Take care, everybody.